Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we've got a truly fascinating explainer mapped out for you. We're looking at one single hyper-focused window of time, June 7th, 2026, to understand exactly where the world stands right now. We've pulled together reports from all corners of the globe, synthesizing the noise to give you the absolute clearest picture possible.
So, what actually defined the world on June 7th? Well, the sheer disparity of events happening within just 24 hours is quite frankly staggering. I mean, we've got high-stakes geopolitical warfare happening at the exact same time as these incredibly complex international cyber busts. It's like a giant puzzle. And to truly grasp the global pulse, we really need to break this down systematically. Here's exactly how we're going to break it down today. We'll start with escalation in the Middle East, move into global conflicts and diplomacy, tackle domestic turmoil and crime, then tragedies and extreme weather, and we'll wrap things up with global sports and culture.
Starting right off with Section 1, Escalation in the Middle East. A fragile truce shatters.
Now, what's really interesting about this timeline is just the sheer terrifying speed of the breakdown. Right? We had an initial truce that actually held since April, but then an unannounced Israeli airstrike hit Beirut. That instantly triggered a massive Iranian ballistic missile barrage fired straight at Israel. And the immediate aftermath? We're talking millions rushing to reinforce shelters and a total grinding halt to regional aviation. Iraq completely closed its airspace for 72 hours, and Syria shut theirs down for 12.
To understand how we ended up with airspace closures, we've got to look closely at the catalyst. That Israeli airstrike hit a residential building in Beirut's southern suburbs, tragically leaving 2 dead and 20 wounded. But what's absolutely crucial to note here is the geopolitical context. This action directly defied requests from Washington to stand down. So why do it? Well, behind this decision is intense domestic pressure on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. With elections coming up, there is a massive push from within Israel to just permanently neutralize those northern border security threats.
Following that retaliatory Iranian barrage, Israel's official military response was swift and it was definitive. They confirmed that they successfully intercepted the vast majority of incoming threats, but they issued a very stark warning, stating flatly that Tehran has made a grave mistake. Obviously, this sets the stage for a highly precarious standoff.
And as if we needed another layer of complexity here, let's talk about the United States' position. President Trump has firmly reiterated his administration's no-dust policy. Simply put, this means the U.S. is fully prepared to take unilateral action to seize and completely destroy Iran's highly enriched uranium stockpile. They've made it crystal clear they're willing to execute this with or without Tehran's diplomatic cooperation, which is especially notable right now since secret peace negotiations have hit a really dangerous impasse.
Moving on to Section 2, Global Conflicts and Diplomacy. Flashpoints in Europe and the Levant.
Because, the escalation isn't just happening in the Middle East. Over in Europe, we saw a highly dangerous escalatory step. Russian military forces launched a precise strike on a targeted site right near the Chernobyl exclusion zone. And the timing here? Deeply significant. This happened exactly as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky touched down in London for urgent high-level defense and security talks with European allies.
Meanwhile, bouncing back toward the Levant, bipartisan U.S. lawmakers are watching diplomatic efforts basically stall out entirely. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why progress on the ground is so difficult right now. It's like hitting a brick wall. On one side, you have the U.S.-mediated framework, which is a pilot plan to ban Hezbollah from areas south of the Litani River. But on the other side, Hezbollah's stance is completely rigid. They're demanding that any local truce must be entirely tied to a total regional cessation of hostilities. It's just complete diplomatic gridlock.
Let's shift gears slightly for Section 3, Domestic Turmoil and Crime. Politics, violence, and cyber theft.
On the domestic political front in the U.S., there is some heavy friction right now surrounding the Department of Justice. President Trump has publicly stepped up to defend a massive new DOJ compensation fund. Now, this package is specifically intended to compensate citizens and political supporters who claim they were systematically targeted by past administrations. The current administration is pushing forward with this, despite some really deep criticism and controversy surrounding the fund.
But stepping away from politics for a moment, there is a stark, absolute tragedy dominating local domestic news. 12. That's the number of victims confirmed to have been struck by gunfire in Ohio today. What was supposed to be a community public festival turned into total chaos when 2 unidentified suspects just opened fire directly into the crowded gathering. Right now, a massive multi-agency manhunt is actively underway to track down the shooters.
Okay, on a totally different front of the law enforcement landscape, we actually saw a massive victory for international cyber intelligence. Specialized task forces successfully took down a multi-million-dollar online scam syndicate operating out of Cambodia. And the scale of this digital heist is staggering. Authorities revealed this network was using highly advanced digital fraud traps to systematically compromise and drain global banking accounts. A real game-changer for international cybersecurity.
Heading into Section 4 now, tragedies and extreme weather, nature's deadly force.
Across the eastern United States, extreme weather front lines have been spawning severe windstorms and incredibly destructive squalls. We saw high-velocity winds bringing down power lines left and right. But the really tragic focal point of this story is the individual human impact. The extreme weather completely uprooted and toppled heavy trees, tragically crushing and killing an 85-year-old man. It's a sobering reminder of just how deadly and unpredictable nature can be.
And halfway across the world in Laos, there's another agonizing environmental challenge playing out. Emergency rescue crews were forced to temporarily suspend an absolutely grueling underground search operation. 2 miners vanished inside a deep, completely waterlogged cavern system. But because the conditions down there became so hazardous and fundamentally unstable, crews had to make the gut-wrenching decision to halt the rescue efforts.
Let's bring the energy back up for our final segment, Section 5, Global Sports and Culture, Records, Upsets, and Triumphs. Amidst all the heavy news today, human triumph is literally making history. Just look at this staggering number. Over 1 million. I mean, no way, right? Over 1 million people turned out in Spain to attend Pope Leo XIV's massive outdoor apostolic mass. It wrapped up the final leg of his highly anticipated European tour, and it marks a truly historic moment in his papacy. To put that into perspective, the sheer logistics of safely managing a crowd of over 1 million people in one place is just absolutely awe-inspiring.
And the sports world just as action-packed today, delivering 4 massive highlights. Let's move through these and see how the excitement builds. First up, massive security perimeters completely locked down New York City ahead of a high-stakes NBA Finals Game 3, which notably spotlights a historic father and son duo. Over in track and field, a complete shocker. World record holder Mondo Duplantis suffered an unexpected defeat in the pole vault at the Stockholm Diamond League. Meanwhile, in motorsport, young phenom Kimi Antonelli masterfully navigated a chaotic, rain-slicked Monaco Grand Prix to secure his 5th straight win. Unbelievable! And finally, some genuinely reassuring news. Representatives confirmed that legendary gymnast Simone Biles is actively recovering and in good spirits following an unannounced medical emergency late last week.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought. Think about it. Today, we've looked at massive missile barrages, highly sophisticated cyber thefts, tragic extreme weather, and over 1 million people gathering in a single place. The sheer velocity of global events is accelerating. If a single 24-hour cycle can be this jam-packed with rapid escalation and shocking upsets, how do we actually equip ourselves to navigate a world where the unprecedented has simply become our daily reality? Thank you so much for learning with me today. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll see you next time.